the next 3 weeks. So this training is organized by Data Scientist Network, formerly known as Data Science Nigeria, and popularly known as DSN. DSN is an organization that is committed to raising 1 million AI talents and building AI solutions that will improve the quality of life and well-being of 2 billion people in emerging markets. As I earlier communicated, this training will last for 3 weeks, and it will take place 3 times a week. I mean, just for 1 hour. And we will have the training Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. West African time. So at the end of this training, we will have 10 minutes just to take questions and to kind of resolve some issues probably that you're having across the training days. Yeah. So I want to believe you're excited to be here today. If you're just joining the call, please drop your name on the chat and where you're joining us from. So that would take us to the next slide. So today we'll be looking at just a quick reminder of the timeline. Is what we'll be doing quickly. We've had the masterclass kickoff and formal briefing, which held last week, 18th November. So today is the next step in this whole package that we have for you, and that is starting with the learning kickoff, which will run for 3 weeks, 3 days in a week, 11 a.m. West African time, and it will run via Zoom, and it will also be available on our YouTube, so you can always join us there. So the next step is the registration for classes, which close on 30th of November. So we implore you, if you have colleagues, if you have friends that are here to join, that are here to register, please just drop the link with them, let them join. We look forward to receiving them. And also, we believe that the training will be available for them to catch up. Yeah. And then the 4th item here is the hackathon and application kickoff and the workshop, which was run on the 28th of November, 2022. So we look forward to receiving you then as well. And then we talk about the solution submission deadline. This you must keep in mind. You must keep this in mind, is important. 18th of December 2022 is the solution submission deadline. Keep this in mind. Now, it's important that you join the project group on Africa GeoPortal. We've dropped this link for you, and we'll still hope that you will pick it up again. If you are here to join the platform, it's important that you join now. Join the project group on Africa GeoPortal using https://arg.is/1g, just capital G, capital D, capital C, small case Y. So please ensure that you join the Africa Group GeoPortal. Africa GeoPortal is for the project. Thank you. So today, our training facilitator is Wari. He's an expert in geospatial analysis and data science. So guys, I want to believe that you're excited. Please welcome him as he takes the mic. Thank you. Okay, so it will join us shortly. Just a minute. I have to share your screen now. Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to this session once again. And I would like to have a hope you are excited for this session. Like my colleague said, my name is and I want to get a event law on the analysis. So I need to click on anything and see my screen. Or you so can you confirm you can hear me? So can you confirm you can hear me now?
Yes, can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So like I've said, sorry. My name is Mari, and I work with discussion. Okay. I will be sharing my screen now. Yeah, great. Please also confirm that you can see my screen. Good. Okay, so I'll begin our section with the one on introduction to GIS and spatial analysis. With that said, this will be the agenda for our section. So firstly, we'll walk you through the GIS concept. You know, in our previous master class, we saw various applications of use of mobility spatial data in solving health challenge in Africa, with a special use case of Meta, formerly known as Facebook users mobility data. In this lesson, we'll deep dive into different types of spatial data and also a special interest in using Africa Geoportal, which is hosted on ArcGIS online platform. Finally, we'll carry the basic analysis with vectors and spatial data on ArcGIS platform. With that said, let's get started on GIS concepts. So this is a simple Google search on GIS. When you Google GIS, what would you see? Firstly, you see it consists of the world around you, whereby it shows physical entities of the earth which we interact with. It also depicts map, which it tries to cover to squash the spherical nature of the global world into a flat surface for easy interpretation and use on digital platform. Another aspect is the layer describing different entities, which can be grouped into vegetations, schools, waters, administrative boundaries, and other earth entities or physical entities you can think of on the earth surface. Then finally, we have the analytics platform, whereby you need to investigate on what or how and the why. So you can ask questions like with the analysis out, where are there health needs in a location? So your data alone is not enough, but you must use this data to investigate, to ask questions and provide insightful decision. With all this now, we can encapsulate it into defining GIS as a system that can help you collect, manage, analyze, and map location data for better management and effective decision making. So it allows you to have what we call locational intelligence on location on different places to understand what's going on at different places and also at different times. Then we also have these are various applications of GIS. So these are like social good areas whereby GIS can be used and applied. It can be applied in solving issues that have to do with poverty level. It can also help in solving issues of also on gender inequality. Then it's also solve issues that has to do with drought or flooding. Then also, and very important, climate condition. It's very, very common that you can begin of global warming and climate change. So geospatial data can help you understanding on areas that are really affected, and also plans to mitigate for that climate change or for that global warming. Furthermore, we can also look at the Sustainable Development Goal, and these are 8 sustainable development goal. So you can see, you look at the application of geospatial on this sustainable development goal. So if you can look at no poverty, one very, very important data in using solving issue on no poverty it's the use of satellite image and also mobility phone number. This has to do also, mobile phone number has to do also with you can use it to understand people's movements, and also you also use it to understand people's spending habit at different locations. So it's a very, very important data, spatial data in solving poverty issue. So we also have the use of it in agriculture, trying to solve zero hunger. We also have the use of it in health, which is one of the primary focus for this hackathon using Facebook mobility data. We also see the use of it also on climatic condition, and also on sustainable environment, trying to create smart city. So we're going to look at more application on using spatial data in health, where you use mobility data, which is very, very important. We also use satellite imagery, like remote sensed imagery from the sky. We also provide analysis also on this. So you very, very simple way you can use this data in application is you trying to form what we call a disease pattern and distribution map to understand what the prevalence of diseases at different locations. And also you can also use it in examining different health system or healthcare in a location to understand, okay, is this healthcare, is it performing well compared to other healthcare in other locations, and what healthcare has less facilities with that can cater for the need of people staying in that location. Then that's that about our application aspect of spatial geospatial. Then we already know how we can apply this GIS. The next question we'll bring to our mind is, okay, what are the type of data available for us to be able to use this use this? So first in our list we have the vector data. So vector data is with high level knowledge, you gets to understand that vector data basically consists of discrete geometric, which are X and Y coordinate paired. So they are very, very efficient in representing physical locations of the Earth. And this data can also furtherly be broken down into 3. We also have the point and the line data. So the point data is very, very good in representing distinct data point entities, like what you have in schools, that's like a building, churches, health sites, and also very important in representing tree. Another aspect of vector data that's also very important is the line data. So line data consists of groups of points. That's the groups of point data that you can join them together, but the first point and the last point does not meet together. It's just like you have in your road or in your river. So they're very, very good place where we can depict those physical entities in the earth. Then the final data we have is the polygon data. So the polygon data, it consists of different line data or different point data, whereby the first point and the last point also meets together to form a closed body. So it's mostly used for administrative boundaries like states or counties or local government or ward. So that's the basic different types of vector data we have. Another very important feature of vector data is what we call the attributes of spatial data, or also spatial data with respect to vector data. Now, each location must have an attribute that should be able to describe it. For example, if you have a school as a location, you need to know the name of the school, you need to know the number of students, you need to know the number of staffs, and also you need to know if that school is being licensed or not. Now, the locational attributes of that schools, which you already have, you know where that school is located, is very, very important. That also non-geographical attributes, which are like entities that describes that schools, are also available. So you can like prefer or make very, very good insight on what's going on in that location. So like a sample is being showed here, where you see you see data on longitude and latitude, which is the spatial attributes, and also you see disease data. So for example, maybe you are mapping locations of different diseases. You need to know the type of disease and also the time the disease happens. So you be able to understand, oh, was there more prevalence of a particular disease at a particular location during the dry season or during the rainy season, so you can help in providing more interventions. So before that period, you can estimate that, oh, so and so number of people would have this particular disease. We should make plans for that. So that's that about the different features and different attributes of those data, of spatial data. Now, then we also have this vector data. You need to know, okay, how this different data can be stored. So we have the very first form is the tabular form of data of your vector data. So you consider your vector data in a tabular form, in whereby these geospatial features of the data are stored in different columns. That's the longitude and the latitude, which can also be described as your X and your Y. Then also, now these different formats are very efficient. It has been formed so that it can also be very efficient to query different spatial data for different applicational use case. So, for example, you have your shapefile, which is one of the most commonly used vector data, and it's from S3, is widely used on desktop application. We also have the GeoJSON, which is also efficient in web mapping. Then we also have the KML file format. So the KML file format is very efficient when you want to do a spatial analysis on Google Earth or any platform that is being hosted on by Google platform. So these are the various types of vector data we have. So we'll be seeing more of this use case in our practical classes. Another type of data we have is the raster data. The raster data consists of metrics of pixels. So it's similar to your normal images, similar to the normal image, but it does not have the longitude and latitude. So it does not have a coordinate, whereby in a raster data, each pixel can be geofenced to a particular location on Earth. And this data also is also very efficient in storing features that are continuous in nature of the Earth. So features like your population density, also features like your climate data. In addition, you also use raster data also for base map in different mapping platforms, like what you see in your Google map. In your Google map, if you look at your Google map, there's this street level view. You can see that those features are raster data. If you're also very conversant with OpenStreetMap, so those data that are being captured from satellite are also represented in raster data. The raster data can also be categorized into different types or into different types. So we have categorical raster data. So you can see here from this image, this is an image of raster data being captured. So each of these pixels based on their different color code are distinct. So you can see the grasses where you have the grasses in green, or you can also see the buildings where the buildings are labeled in brown. Then the river, which is blue, more like a water-like color. Then the housing also, you see it is in not maroon and black. So the categorical features, each pixel must have a distinct class to it. So like you have the grass, building, rivers, and houses. Another type of raster data is a continuous data. So the continuous data does not have any clear defined boundaries, unlike what you see in categorical data, whereby for each pixel, it's used to describe a particular entity. But in continuous data, each pixel does not define a continuous entity. But this does not require a complete, but it's used in the values of the pixels and numeric. They have real kind of number, so they can take in decimal place kind of number. So it shows different range of values. So for example, like population density, which shows like different range of values. So it can be 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. So it's very is a sample of continuous raster data. Then we also have things like climate data, precipitation data like rainfall, So rainfall, it's a continuous valley. In different places might have different rainfall. So then also, it also continuous data can also be satellite imagery when you're also trying to capture the entity of what is in the environment from the sky. So one very important attribute of raster data is the spatial resolution, which is the number of coverage each pixel carries in an image. So you have, like, normally when you are using a normal mobile phone, trying to take phone from your camera, some phones can have 8 megapixel, 5 megapixel. So it's almost the same thing with raster data, since it's also an image. So the larger the number of area a pixel carries, the lower the resolution. So to represent minute and see very fine details of location, a pixel must represent small areas or location as possible. So you can see from this graph whereby you see that where you are representing 8 meters for a particular pixel, you see the resolution is bad. Then compared to you representing 1 meter for each pixel, you see the pixel, you can see clearly what that picture is depicting or what it's saying. So although when you represent very, very small location for a pixel, it comes with a downside, in the sense that it requires a huge amount of memory location to store. Then you can actually also show you sample of our raster data. Our raster data looks like on Google Map. This is from Google Map. I think the spatial resolution is about 5 MB per pixel. So that's why you can, when you zoom in, if you go online, go to Google Map, look at the street view, the satellite view. When you zoom in, you're able to see what's on top of a building because of the pixel resolution is really that high. Then with that said about our vector and our raster data, then we now come to the tools we can use in analyzing vector and raster data. So tools we can use in manipulating different data. So firstly, we have different types of tools. So we have the GEO application. Most people very used to GIS. They are very conversant with these tools. So firstly, we have ArcGIS from S3, which is like one of the founding fathers of desktop application for GIS, geospatial application. Then we have the open source tool, which is QGIS. Then we also have other tools like Maptitude, we have Catso, we also have Mapbox, which also provides easy styling of your spatial data and also provides base map also for different web application. Then we also have a programmatic tool. So unlike the GUI, which is like a no code, which you can also drag, you can bring in, use your UI, you can drag and drop. Then we have these programmatic tools, which Python and also Arrow. So it's Python for simplicity, and also Arrow is also more of a statistical tool. So, and also just spatial analysis also, you need type of statistics for it to be able to do some analysis in it. So for our classes, we'll be using ArcGIS Online. So ArcGIS Online on which is provided to us from Africa Job Portal. So this is Africa Job Portal interface. So the mail, we sent a mail previously to everyone, and also during our masterclass, host Pauline helped us in giving a extensive view on how Africa Job Portal work. So we need everyone to be on this platform, Africa Job Portal. You need to register on this platform to be able to access our data, because we understand that most of our data are very, very large, and most people won't really have the luxury to be able to store those data in their local machine. So you need to be on this platform so you can use this data and carry out analysis easily for you. Then it's advisable you share this on the platform. Then once you're done with joining Africa Job Portal, you need to join our group. So we have a special group where our data is also hosted. So you can have access to different data we'll use for these classes, and also for possible data also you also be needing for the hackathon. So the name of the group is Geospatial and Mobility Group on Africa Geoportal. So this is a link to join the group. So the link is going to be shared in the chat window, and it has also been shared also via mails to everyone. So you can also see currently in this group, we currently have 82 members, which we need more people to join you. So you can be given more access to more credits also to be able to use the platform, because most of the analysis on this are creditized. So you need to join the group to do that. Okay, so someone is saying the last time we checked, we are 97 years. That's a good movement now. So for those, the access has already been given to those already on the group license for even for the desktop pro. So it's a very, very good opportunity for you to be on the group and learn how to use ArcGIS, even the pro. It's a very, very, very powerful and magical tool. So we need everyone to go to this platform, because all our classes is going to be hands-on on African Geoportal, also on our group. Yeah. So with that said, so we move on to practical section. So this is practical section. So the practical section, basically the first thing we'll do, we'll show you how to load data. So we'll be loading data from different sources. We'll load from your local machine. Also, we also show you how you can also load data from our group where we already hosted. And also you can also load data that's already on a URL. Then we also show you, after loading this data, we'll show you how you can analyze data, look at the different features or description of this data. Then from there, we can also show you also why you can style this data, review the result, look at how this data looks like in general. Then we can also, finally, you also learn how you can save the result of this data, whereby you can share your analysis for anyone to either, even though the person is not on Africa Geoportal, but with a URL, someone can see your analysis of what you're doing. Okay, for this analysis, we would we're looking at data on health sites, on also GeoBoundary polygon data. Also, we also show you on Facebook mobility data also, and all these data are also geo-referenced. That said, we'll move on going to the hands-on section. So I'll be sharing my screen, the hands-on session. Okay. So I need to confirm you can see my screen. Can you confirm my screen is showing African Geoportal? Let me see. Yes, I can see your screen. Perfect. Are you? Perfect. Good. Okay, so when you go to the Africa Geoportal platform, so this is what you'll be welcomed with. You're welcome with this. Now, you can see, like what Pauline said, you can see there are different features content here already. And also you also see different countries being classified based on their different use cases and also different data. And you can also see different patterns. So for this classes, I will take you through, I'll show you our platform. So you can come here, if you've joined our group already, you can come to your profile, you can click on your profile, and you would see teams. You go to teams, so you see the group you're already part of, and this is if you should be here. Yeah, we already have 106 members. Yeah, we are really improving. Great one. So you can click on this group to see the content we have. So we have about 28 data points here across different countries. So these are the different data. So we have data on Senegal, Nigeria. We have Kenya. We also have South African data. So you can also play with this and go through so you can see different types of data we have and how you can apply the various use case for the data. So for this class, we're working on health data, like I've said, and also we're working on admin boundary data and also Kenya mobility data. We use Kenya location as a use case. So the first thing we'll do a causal look at our map analysis. So what we'll do here is we'll click on map. So this is the map. We're using map analysis. We'll click on map here. So it takes you to an interface that shows that it is ready for you to be able to carry out analysis on map in this interface. So at this interface, you can also click here so you can take away this information here. So it shows you that this is a web mapping application. You can take away this interface. At the start of it, you can see the details that shows you details of each data you have. You can also see this add. This add shows you can add data or different data. It's also called data and also layers of different data. So we already have data already, the Kenya health. I want to add the Kenya health, which is already available on our platform. What I just need to do is I can search for this layer and this is my content. No, if you don't already have any analysis already in your content, you won't be able to see anything here. So for you to be able to see content in our group, you go to my group. Either you search for the name, I could search for Kenya Health. So if I search for Kenya Health and I click the enter button, you can see health sites in Kenya. However, if I want to be very explicit that I want to find this in a particular group, I can come here, I can click on this filter and I go to my group. I just need things in Geospatial Mobility Health Solution in Africa. And it shows me the list of available data sets here. Then from there, I can search for health. So it should show me all the health data available here. You can see Senegal, Kenya, South Africa. So I can click on the Kenya health data here. So you can use this button to add, or you can click on this Kenya just to see the overview of details of this data. Okay. Okay, I should go back to where I clicked. Okay, I'll slow down a little bit. Okay, I'll start from the interface. So you have the details here. We also have the add, where you can add data to your platform. Now, when you click on here, you can see different options which you can add data to your platform. I will now click on the search since I want to add data from my group. Now, this drop down shows you how you can add different data that is on African Job Portal. So you can add from my content. This my content shows you want to add data that you've already created previously. If you're starting this for the first time, you won't be able to add data you won't see anything here. So that's why you need to go to my group because we already have the data already preloaded for you. Now you can, if you want only our data, you can go to filter. Then you can come to Geospatial and Health Solution in Africa. You can click on this. So on this, you can see that you see all the available data we have on our platform. So I need data on health for Kenya. So I can just search for health. So if you know the name of the data we want to search for, you can just use the search button. But if you don't know, you can just scroll through the list of our available data. So now this is different health data. We have Senegal, we have Kenya, we have South Africa and Nigeria. I want to use Kenya. So I want to use Kenya, sorry. So I click on Kenya here. So here you see also attributes, or you also see description on this data provided for the admin. Then to add this to the map interface, you can click on add to map here. Automatically, you see it zooms to the particular layers where this data covers. You can see this area is in Kenya. I can then take this away, go back here, and you see on my legend, it shows me that it has data on Kenya. You see this data being widely arranged. Now I can also, it also gives what also a polygon data, which I don't need. So I can go to my content to be able to edit the content of data I've already added. So you have Kenya health point, which is at all these points, but it also added, because if I unclick check on it, you won't see it. If I check it back, you would see it. It also added polygon data, which we don't really need because some of the data also came in also in polygon. We don't need this polygon and we don't need the points of those health locations. So what we need to do is click on this 3 dotted option here to remove this polygon data over here. So you can see now I've taken it away off. Now you can ask yourself, what's this data doing here? So this data is the base map area. So it's more of the mapping at the background. So what I'll need to do is, I don't like this base map is not really showing me more information. I just need Kenya, and I don't need more information on the description of those locations in Kenya. So what I need to do is I can change the base map over here. That's the underlying map, and I can change it. There are different options to change the base map too. You can use an satellite imagery data as your base map. Whereby if you zoom in, you can also see different locations on the data, and also where all these health points located. So if you zoom in here, you can see different points where this point is. So this is around here. So can you confirm you can hear me? Okay, so can you confirm you can all hear me? Okay. Loud and clear. Perfect. 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 So you can see the location of this data here using satellite imagery. But I want to use this for analysis. I want something subtle that has also visually appealing. So I can use the light gray canvas here. So you have a different choice of what you want to use. I can use the light gray canvas here. If I use it and zoom out, and zoom, you can use this button to zoom in or zoom out. So you can use this button to zoom in, you can use this button to zoom out. Alternatively, if you are used to your trackpad, you can use the synaptics to zoom in or you zoom out. So this is data of Kenya here. So with this data now of this health site, now I can also look at the attribute tables. That's what this data consists of. Remember when I talked about different attributes of each point. So this is where you click on the show table here. So show table will show you the different attributes. Now the total number of health sites here are 1,357. It shows you the count of health sites here. So you see this attributes data. This data is gotten from OpenStreetMap, so you can see different in the OpenStreetMap ID. So for each location mapped on OpenStreetMap, it has an ID. Another very important attribute is the amenities. So these are health sites, some are hospitals, some are clinics, and also some are pharmacy. So these are the different attributes of from the amenities. One thing you can also do is you can filter this data. So for example, for analysis, I just need clinic and hospital. So what I need to do is I can come to this option here. You can see this filter button here that has like a funnel kind of sign. I click here. I select my amenity here. So I can say my amenity is I know it's clinic. I type clinic here, then I apply filter over here. So it processes and tries to filter. It processes and tries to filter this data. So you can see all data over here are clinic data, all the amenities over here are clinic. Now I can also add more and say, okay, I want to also add hospital data. So I come here, I go to edit, I can also add another expression. I search for amenity. is type hospital. So I can also apply filter. Now let's look at the number of our clinic. Our number of our clinic was 410. Let's see if it's going to increase. Apply filter over here. Oh, it's train error. Okay. So I'll add the amenities over here again. Is hospital. It's still, I think it's okay. I'll just filter just the clinic. I think doing this is train error. So I can also let me filter also on the hospital. I think it has a typo, that's why. If I apply this filter on the hospital, it shows me 256 hospital. And if I filter on clinic here, add an expression over here to filter on clinic. So I will just filter on, I think there's a here. So I'll just filter on, so let me just filter out the pharmacy. Let me filter out the pharmacy, just the pharmacy. So I can go to is not pharmacy. So I think the only odd value there is pharmacy. Okay, so we have 737 values. So we have hospitals and clinics. So I did the inverted. So instead of adding the two values together, I had to invert and say it's not pharmacy to be able to filter out this value. Then if we can see this attribute, we'll just have just the health site on hospitals and also on clinic. So these are other attributes. It has to do with OpenStreetMap data. So there are some are not available, like electricity always, but it has a lot of null values sometimes. So it's not of more interest to us, but it's something also we can also look at next time if you want to provide more insight on data that's available on them. So we have other attributes here. Then on these, I can close this attribute table. Then I can also style these values, this data here. I can style them. So I can come here. I can change the color here if I want to. So you click on the change style. So you change the option. So where you have symbols here, so you can change different symbols you want to based on the different shapes you want to. You can also change based on, there are also different actions like arrows, entities like arrows. So I'll still use the point, but let's use a red entity. You can also increase the size if you want to. This is in 20. You can reduce it to 10 or increase it to 25. This is, let me make it 25. Okay, so okay. Can you confirm you can hear me? Yeah, this is already in 25. I can click on OK. So you see the point increases. I can also reduce it back. So instead of 25, I can make it 15. So yeah, so it is okay. So these are, you can also look at the transparency of it. So if you zoom in, you see is a real, it shows the full field. So you can make it more transparent. So if you use this icon, see, the more you make it 100%, the less you'll be able to see it. So I'll leave it at transparency of 0%. So it can also be viewable. So you can also go back to this and look at this currently what we have. Sorry, we did not save it, so it's not going to change. So when we're done, we need to save it. We'll go back and do this again and reduce this to 15. Reduce this to 15, click on the OK sign. Then you must click on OK here so the changes can be visible. Click on OK, then click on done here. Then you go back to, you see changes is visible. Then another thing also, we also have our locations of our health sites. We can also add our admin boundary. So I need to add admin boundary 2 in Kenya. So like I've said previously, I can come here and search for the admin boundary if it's already available. So I can check in my group. Currently, we don't have admin boundary because it can be easily accessible on African Job Portal. There are other data available there. So I want to search for in all the organization, the whole of Africa Job Portal for admin boundary. So what I need to do is I can search for Kenya admin and click on enter. So you see different admin boundaries. So this is the one I did previously. So you see Kenya admin boundary level 2, we have level 1 for our CMR. You also have level 0. I need admin boundary level 2. This is it. So I can click on this, I add it to a map. So you see this layer is been added to my data. So you can see it here. It was not here previously, it's been added to our map. However, there's also alternative way you can also add this data. So if you know, maybe you just need to be sure that this data, the admin boundary comes from a trusted source of truth. And remember, in Africa.ai, in Africa Job Portal, we also add that different data are being segmented into different countries. So I can come here, the platform, and click on Kenya. So it opens the Kenya interface. And this Kenya interface also shows different data or different work done on Kenya location. So this is Kenya admin boundary 0, admin boundary 1, and admin boundary 2, which is what is of interest to me. We should present Conti. So I can click on this and I'll see how it looks like while it loads. So this is the admin boundary 2. Now, if I have this, I can then click on this and say, I want to use this. You go to the view API resources, you open this, it shows you different URL to this data. You can copy it here. Then you then go back and then go back to your analysis. You come here to add file. Now, this time around, you're going to add from a web. Before we were searching for this in Africa Job Portal, or we're also searching for this in our personalized group. Now we want to search add from a web. We already have the URL of the web. So we can also copy and we can paste the URL of this and add this. So you see it gets added. There is a new file here, which is similar to what we had previous. So I can remove any of this because they are the same thing. I can remove any of this from our file. So I remove this layer. Now, if you observe, look at the arrangement of this. So you have the admin boundary on top of the health site, but I want the health site to be on top so the health site can be visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down. So when I drag this down, you can now see the health site is not visible. The admin boundary here is under. Now remember, this is our base map. This is our base map, which is also lower. So with this, we have also, we can also look at the attributes of this admin boundary here also. It shows you there are about 48 counties in Kenya. So it shows you the different name, the center region it is also. You can also see the districts also that is involved in that location. You can also see the name, since it's admin boundary, you can also see the name of each boundary. You can also style this So you can also do the same with style. This is the health site. You can click on change style. You can click on the option here and click on symbol. So you can change the style. Maybe you can make it blue, you can make it white, depending on style. So I can make it blue and I click on this. So you can see I've changed it. I can also change also the outline. I can also change also the outline here, which is black here. So this is it. So I'll just show you also how you can also add another data type called add another data type on movement map. So movement map is a time series data that shows the change in location in Kenya. So, but this data is also in our platform. So I can search for this layer. Like I did previously, I go to filter. I need this. Sorry. I go to filter in my group, no organization, in my group. So I need this in this. And I know the name of the data is called movement. So I search for it. So you see Kenya movement range. If I click on this data and I add it to my map. So I go back. Since it's a time series data, you can also see the change time range, which starts from January 2021 and it ends in July 1st, 2022. So these are different time range. We'll dive deeply on this in our subsequent classes. So what we're going to show you finally is how you can do basic summarization of this data. That's you need to know, okay, what's the number of health sites at different sub-region. So remember at our menu bar, you see analysis here. So we are going to do that on the health side and also on the admin boundary. We want to know which location has more, which location has more health sites. So we come here, go to analysis, I go to summarize data. We want to aggregate these points. So the aggregate these points, so it says choose layer contains points to aggregate into. So we want our points data to be the health site. I want our polygon data, which we want to aggregate on top, to be the admin boundary too. Then statistics we want to use. So we want to use sum for statistics. Then what do we want to count? We want to count the few. Let's count the ID, because the ID is unique for each of them. So then for the result, the result of this output, we can call it Kenya health site. Kenya health site per boundary zone. So we then run this analysis. Oh, sorry. So we need to change this field. I think completeness is also a value that is also a value that does not have no values here. So I can run this analysis. Yeah. So it keeps on running. While it runs, see. Okay, there are different questions on the group. I have joined the group also, Moses Bernard. So while we wait till our file run also, let's see if we have questions in the group. Okay, no question yet. So it takes time. So it depends on the size of data. The bigger the size, the more time it takes for it to calculate number of each health site in different region. Okay, so we need a little patience for it to finish running. So why is running? If you have a question, and you can ask your question if you have a question. So I think it has finished running. So this is the output data. The output takes the output of the initial admin boundary, that's the polygon boundary, which you are finding the number of points in the polygon. So this is the admin boundary site here. So I would uncheck, let me uncheck the admin boundary. So you see it here. So this is the, if I look at the table here, you'll see in addition to the normal data, the normal features of data we had, you can see that it adds a value there. So it adds a value here. So it's called, it shows as sum of completeness. It adds a value here. Sorry, it has a value here, shows count of points here as a value as count of points. So let's style this data to look at number of regions that have the highest value, looking at physical views like the map display. So you come to styling here, click on styling here, then you can, now the styling is done, it's using the size to style based on the higher the number of points, the bigger the size. But we can change this to use a chloroplate map. So the deeper the color, you see, the higher the number of. So now if you observe, now you zoom in, you see value greater than 70 has a more deeper maroon color here. So you can click on done and it shows this value. Now you cannot see you can't see the hillside because the polygon is covering it. So we can bring this down. We can bring this down so you can see it here. Now, if you view in, you can see places like Nairobi, we have high cluster of health sites. If you click on the feature, we have about 377 health points in Nairobi. You can also look at locations like this, Reef. You can see locations like Baringo. So Baringo in Reef Valley, we had about 55 points there. So you can also change the styling here. So if you have this is it, health site peg boundary, you can also change the styling here by clicking on option here. So where you have symbols, you can change it to any color. You can use a green, blue, or red. So this is, so you have this. So the deeper green, the higher the number of health sites. So you can know, okay, what location are really lacking health sites at different counting. If you don't do analysis, I'll just give you cause on how you can also save this analysis. So you can also save your analysis if you're done. So you can save it. You can save as Kenya health sites mapping. So you can add a tag. Africa is also health. So you can add a summary. You can call it lecture 1 on mobility data. For health. Then you can save it in your file, that's your file folder, which is your username. You can save the map. So it saves it automatically here for you. So that's so you can also use the same idea also in carrying out various analysis on different states or different country. Where we can also use the country admin boundary, and also you can also use the country health site to map and understand where are prevalent locations of health sites, and also where are locations that some health sites are not easily available. So that's all we have for this section. So in subsequent class, we'll go further on also analyzing more different ways. You can also do different various vector analysis, and also different ways also you can also analyze also raster data analysis. So we'll also take more questions.
All right, thanks so much, Wari. It's been a great time with you on the call. Can we have your questions? I know we've been attending to a lot of questions on the chat. Quickly, if you have any questions for facilitator today, please just pick it up and just throw it in. So someone is asking, what are the benefits of adding data to Africa Geoportal? We've mentioned that. I mean, you can, okay, let me try to him to take that. I would have just taken. All right, go on, please.
Okay, so we already have a lot of data on our platform now. Africa Geoportal allow you to easily access this data because some data we have about gigabytes of data, you won't be able to access it on your local machine. Even though you put it on your local machine, your storage might be limited. And also Africa Geoportal also allow easy processing of some of this data. So most times, your machine also your device might not be able to be strong enough also to process data. So Africa Geoportal gives easy access for this. And also, it's also very easy. You don't need to start importing, dragging, and dropping things from different areas. So with data already in the platform already, you can also do analysis, then also share and also provide reports on it easily. So is it for user consumption? Yeah, we have free tier for this hackathon. So once you register on the platform, you can easily use the platform for different analysis you want. Yeah, is there any other question?
Okay. So we have the next question, which is about, okay, someone is asking, is there any advantage of using ArcGIS over QGIS? Okay, yeah, all right, maybe take that.
Okay, so ArcGIS is a paid platform. There are many things you need to do. It's really automated for you, very easy to use. Unlike QGIS, although it's open source, but there are a lot of things that you need to manually do, and also it's a little bit foggy sometimes if to use. So ArcGIS is more versatile. You can use your desktop. You can also have an online version for use, which is not available on QGIS.
Okay, so we have the next question about after the analysis, can we download our findings and data set for reference? So do you want to take that?
Okay, so you can export your data after analysis. You can also share also as a URL for other people to see. So you can share, embed it in a web platform. Even though people without access to ArcGIS online, they can see it like a normal website. So it's easy share. There's also something called story map. You can also be the story map for it, whereby all your analysis, you combine them together and share findings and insight on it. So you can easily share output from your analysis.
And it's all right. Thank you, everyone. So we will have to call it a day now. The next session, we believe you can bring in additional questions, and then you can also have your questions come on the Telegram platform. I want to believe that all of you are currently on the Telegram platform. If you are not there, it is time you join. I mean, the link has been shared with all the emails that has gone into your inbox. Please just check your inbox today. Join the Telegram platform. We look forward to meeting you again. And we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, 11 a.m. West African time. Thank you for joining this session today. It's a pleasure to have you on the call. Bye.